Okay. Well, that last stream was, well, it sure was something, wasn't it? Um, alright, let's be honest. I'm not exactly cut out for this kind of thing, but, hey, it's not exactly what I wanted to do anyway. It's, just the only way I can do this shit with any kind of timely fashion, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with me while I iron out the kinks. Uh, I'll try to keep an eye on the audio issues this time to hopefully keep that from happening again, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more than half a stream this time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still working out the kinks, Just bear with me. But with no further ado, let's get into today's news, shall we? Oh, actually, no. Before we get started on the news, let's start with what I want to start every stream with from now on, even though there's literally nobody watching at this point. So maybe, you know what, I should hold off on the telling you guys to register to vote. So we'll wait until a couple people actually join, and then we'll get on to that one. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. What can we start with? I've actually decided to restructure some things with the stream here, so I'm not just scrolling through Twitter like last time. We're gonna go to the Discord instead, and you know, I think it works a little bit better to have it all structured like you know, I don't know what you would call that, like almost a thread style setup. I think it looks a little bit better. Just everything all put together there, and waiting. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna have to accept that these first couple streams, not too many people are gonna be watching. So, if you haven't checked your voter registration, you should probably get on that because Republicans have purged over 19 million voters from the voter rolls between 2020 and 2022, and it's only gotten worse from there. So, yeah, go to vote.org, or you can go to iwillvote.com, I believe it is, or I'm gonna vote. What is it? iwillvote.com, and check your voter registration status. And you can check your registration at vote.org, and they can actually help you to register and set up vote by mail. It's all there. It gives you a nice little counter for how long you got to do it. If you don't want to do it right this split second, that's fine too, but just saying, running out of time. So, yeah, get on that. Just always gonna start every stream with reminding you guys to get out there and check your registration, because those Republicans are trying to pull a fast one. And, anyway, I guess we'll get onto that later. Let's, go back to the Discord here. Well, I guess we'll start with some lighter stuff before we get into the doom and gloom. Some random news stories that I missed over the last, well, shit, 6 months, I guess. But, more recent ones from this past month. Actually, this one's from today. Remember those two viral videos that, I don't know. One was about some fake story about Kamala Harris hitting somebody in a hit and run from, I don't know, some years back, and this girl was claiming that she got thrown up on the hood and broke her hip, and then this really obviously fake video of two supposed I don't even know what they were claiming. They were like Democrats or something, or immigrants who were supposedly assaulting this Trump supporting girl, but like even in the video, they're like lightly tapping her foot with their shoes. It's just the most embarrassingly fake shit I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, today it was confirmed by Microsoft that they were both troll farm accounts from the Kremlin that spat this horseshit out. So tells you what we all already knew. I mean, there'd be a police report of Kamala Harris hitting somebody with her car. So obviously everybody with half a walnut for a brain knew that one was fake. And then there was oh Jesus, am I on the wrong thing? Yes, I told you guys. You got to bear with me here. Jesus. Yeah. So this story here about the oh my god. This story about the girl that was supposedly hit by a car, and I guess she's an actress or something that they paid to lie about it, and this just, I don't know, high school musical level acting going on in this video where they're pretending to beat this girl. I mean, like, if you can call that even, I mean, literally the lightest love taps on her shoe is the most fake thing I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, apparently some people got fooled by that. 99.9% of them were Republicans, I'm sure. But, you know, if you were one of them, then yeah, this is for you. That was fake. And it was confirmed by Microsoft. And, what does it say here? Storm 1516, identified by news reports as Kremlin-aligned troll farm, produced and disseminated 2 inauthentic videos, each generating millions of views. One video depicted an attack by alleged Harris supporters on a supposed Trump rally attendee, while another used on-screen actor to fabricate false claims about Harris's involvement in a hit-and-run accident. So, yeah. If you had any doubts or suspicions about them before, consider yourself vindicated. Because, yeah, it was all fake. Which is a surprise to literally nobody with any kind of deductive reasoning. And then, oh yeah, this story I wanted to talk about while I was gone, but I just never got around to it. Remember when Trump went over to that Arlington cemetery and did his little campaign ad? Well, actually, if you don't remember that one, I'll show you here.
We lost 13 great people. What a horrible day it was. We didn't lose one person in 18 months.
Which is bullshit, by the way.
And then they took over that disaster, the leaving of Afghanistan.
Yeah, so that was a political ad that he literally assaulted, or his campaign, somebody on his campaign assaulted somebody at the cemetery for telling them that they weren't allowed to shoot there because nobody's allowed to shoot there except for the Arlington professional photographers that do occasionally take photos of presidents when they visit the cemetery. But Trump's campaign just had to shoot their little TikTok video in which they lied about the Afghan debacle with the withdrawal in 2021. And last week, 10 generals and admirals are mobilizing to defend Vice President Kamala Harris from Republican attempts to tie her to the chaotic 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. And yeah, I mean, can't believe more people don't already know this, but yeah, that was not Biden or Kamala Harris's fault. That was 100% on Trump. Without involving the Afghan government, Trump and his administration negotiated a deal with the Taliban that freed 5,000 Taliban fighters, and the retired military officers wrote in a National Security Leaders for America letter first obtained by Axios. And yeah, unlike Trump, I mean, I don't want to say they're beyond the, like, it's not, they're humans, they can lie, but generals and admirals in the military are infinitely more trustworthy source of information than anybody in Trump's administration or Trump's world. Like those guys, they uphold their oath. Yeah, so something that Trump would know nothing about. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how so few people know about what actually happened there, but let's go over some of the deets, shall we? Let's take a look here. What do we got? Yeah, this guy does a brilliant explainer of it, so I guess I'll just let him do the talking for a little while. Oh, is it not gonna play on Discord? Oh, you. Okay. Guess we'll load it up over here.
In combat under the Trump administration. 65 U.S. service members died in combat under the Trump administration. And during the Biden-Harris administration, 16. As a combat veteran myself, I think it's fucking disgusting that we've gotten to the level where we're politicizing our honored dead like we're comparing golf scores. But if we're gonna do it, let's be fucking accurate about it. There is not a single year of the Trump administration where one of my brothers didn't die in combat. And yet, the Trump administration keeps pushing this lie there was an 18-month stretch of peace. They put it in an ad that they illegally took at Section 60 of Arlington, where he stood over the grave of a guy who died during that period and gave a shit-eating grin and a thumbs up. That guy's father has come out and said how disgusting this is. He keeps going on about those 13 who died in withdrawal. Conservatives are like, why isn't Biden saying their names? Why isn't Biden out saying those 13 names? Well, where are the 65? Where are the 65 who died under Trump? I've never heard him say any of them, only when he can attack Biden. And those 13 who died, they died because of a botched withdrawal set into motion by Donald Trump after he lost the election, after he released 5,000 Taliban prisoners, one of who went on to lead the Afghanistan retakeover of the country. And then, after he did all that bullshit going around the Afghanistan government, blaming the government for those 5,000 troops that were released, he refused to give any security briefings to Biden, so it fucking tied his hands when he got into power. I'm so sick and tired of this pretend, oh, well, Democrats do this too. Democrats, no, they've never done that. There is not you cannot show me a campaign ad from Section 60 of Arlington Cemetery taken by a staffer for a campaign video because someone tried to stop the Trump campaign and they shoved her out of the way and put out a press release that she had mental health issues that the U.S. Army had to follow up with their own press release saying, no, they did everything right. It's illegal to film campaign footage in Section 60 of Arlington Cemetery because that's our most honored dead. You know who did do it? John McCain. John McCain put out campaign footage from there, and then when he got called out on it, he fucking apologized and said there was no excuse because there used to be some smidge of morals in the Republican Party. Why wasn't Biden there for the wreath-laying ceremony of the 13 on that random day last week? Because he wasn't invited. Because the families didn't invite him. And it's unbelievably disgusting to me that people keep trying to, position Biden as a guy who doesn't care about the troops when his own fucking son served and then died from complications of war, and he goes to visit him like every Sunday. Not only that, but he created the PACT Act, which gave millions of veterans health care for the thing that killed his son. You know what Trump did? He took a bill written by John McCain and signed into law by Obama, and he gave it an extension and then removed the credit from John McCain, the POW. That POW that he insulted, by the way, because he prefers people who don't get captured. Oh, and last week when he did that grotesque thumbs up over the corpse of the fallen, yeah, he blamed the Gold Star families for that. Right after J.D. Vance said that it wasn't for a campaign ad, and then they released a campaign ad. 'Cause it's fucking clown shoes time. I'm so tired of this show where the 4-time draft dodger McBone Spurs is somehow the president of the troops, and the guy whose literal son died because of war is not? Which one of those families sacrificed more? There's not a single Trump who's ever laced up the boots. And the only time he ever cares about our honored dead is when he can use it to attack his political opponents. Because he called them losers and suckers, and when he went to see the ceremonies, he'd say, hey, I don't get it. What's in it for these guys? Why even do this? You end up dead. Which we know because he's repeated when he talks about how he wouldn't want to get the Medal of Honor because you got to get shot or die to get it. This dude does not understand sacrifice. He doesn't understand service. He doesn't understand anything except what benefits him. I'm just so sick and tired of the disgusting lies. He wasn't this anti-war president. He had 4 years to end Afghanistan, and he waited until the end of his campaign to push it off onto Biden. He literally ignores all the people who died under him that he stood over the graves of to make a campaign ad about how they didn't die. He's disgusting, his campaign's disgusting, and anybody trying to make this seem like a normal or regular part of American politics is just as disgusting. None of them care about the circumstances in which they died, except that it's a useful political attack. The people buried in that cemetery deserve better. Do fucking better.
Yeah, so I don't know how much of that you saw, since I saw the stream was having some serious technical issues, but, yeah. I mean, god damn it. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's working now. Stream is healthy, excellent connection. Hey. God, this is such a clusterfuck. Well, hey, how about, I don't know, let's just rewatch it, eh?
65 U.S. service members died in combat under the Trump administration. And during the Biden-Harris administration, 16. As a combat veteran myself, I think it's fucking disgusting that we've gotten to the level where we're politicizing our honored dead like we're comparing golf scores. But if we're gonna do it, let's be fucking accurate about it. There is not a single year of the Trump administration where one of my brothers didn't die in combat. And yet, the Trump administration keeps pushing this lie there was an 18-month stretch of peace. They put it in an ad that they illegally took at Section 60 of Arlington, where he stood over the grave of a guy who died during that period and gave a shit-eating grin and a thumbs up. That guy's father has come out and said how disgusting this is. He keeps going on about those 13 who died in withdrawal. Conservatives are like, why isn't Biden saying their names? Why isn't Biden out saying those 13 names? Well, where are the 65? Where are the 65 who died under Trump? I've never heard him say any of them, only when he can attack Biden. And those 13 who died, they died because of a botched withdrawal set into motion by Donald Trump after he lost the election, after he released 5,000 Taliban prisoners, one of whom who went on to lead the Afghanistan retakeover of the country. And then, after he did all that bullshit going around the Afghanistan government, blaming the government for those 5,000 troops that were released, he refused to give any security briefings to Biden, so it fucking tied his hands when he got into power. I'm so sick and tired of this pretend, oh, well, you know, Democrats do this too. Democrats, no, they've never done that. There is not you cannot show me a campaign ad from Section 60 of Arlington Cemetery taken by a staffer for a campaign video because someone tried to stop the Trump campaign and they shoved her out of the way and put out a press release that she had mental health issues that the U.S. Army had to follow up with their own press release saying, no, they did everything right. It's illegal to film campaign footage in Section 60 of Arlington Cemetery because that's our most honored dead. You know who did do it? John McCain. John McCain put out campaign footage from there, and then when he got called out on it, he fucking apologized and said there was no excuse. because there used to be some smidge of morals in the Republican Party. Why wasn't Biden there for the wreath-laying ceremony of the 13 on that random day last week? Because he wasn't invited. Because the families didn't invite him. And it's unbelievably disgusting to me that people keep trying to, position Biden as a guy who doesn't care about the troops when his own fucking son served and then died from complications of war, and he goes to visit him every Sunday. Not only that, but he created the PACT Act, which gave millions of veterans health care for the thing that killed his son. You know what Trump did? He took a bill written by John McCain and signed into law by Obama, and he gave it an extension and then removed the credit from John McCain, the POW. That POW that he insulted, by the way, because he prefers people who don't get captured. Oh, and last week when he did that grotesque thumbs up over the corpse of the fallen, yeah, he blamed the Gold Star families for that. Right after J.D. Vance said that it wasn't for a campaign ad, and then they released a campaign ad. 'Cause it's fucking clown shoes time. I'm so tired of this show where the 4-time draft dodger McBone Spurs is somehow the president of the troops, and the guy whose literal son died because of war is not? Which one of those families sacrificed more? There's not a single Trump who's ever laced up the boots. And the only time he ever cares about our honored dead is when he can use it to attack his political opponents. Because he called them losers and suckers, and when he went to see the ceremonies, he'd say, hey, I don't get it. What's in it for these guys? Why even do this? You end up dead. Which we know because he's repeated when he talks about how he wouldn't want to get the Medal of Honor because you got to get shot or die to get it. This dude does not understand sacrifice. He doesn't understand service. He doesn't understand anything except what benefits him. I'm just so sick and tired of the disgusting lies. He wasn't this anti-war president. He had 4 years to end Afghanistan, and he waited until the end of his campaign to push it off onto Biden. He literally ignores all the people who died under him that he stood over the graves of to make a campaign ad about how they didn't die. He's disgusting, his campaign's disgusting, and anybody trying to make this seem like a normal or regular part of American politics is just as disgusting. None of them care about the circumstances in which they died, except that it's a useful political attack. The people buried in that cemetery deserve better. Do fucking better.
There we go. Well said, sir. Well said. And, yeah, I've had my own fun trying to explain this to brain-dead Trump supporters. This one guy, I guess he's calling himself Mike T these days, I forget what his original post was, but it got, or no, I guess it was this guy, Z388Z, or whatever the hell he's calling himself. But, yeah, he posted something that Biden should be executed for because of the 13 troops that were killed pulling out of Afghanistan. And, yeah, I just pointed out that he must really want Trump dead then, huh? Seeing as some 65 American service members died in combat while serving Trump during his time in the White House. And, yeah. Then this dipshit just kept on going. And with, the dumbest response I've ever heard in my life, did Trump start the war in Afghanistan? Did Biden, you moron? Nope, he was in charge of the withdrawal from Afghanistan and made explicit direct decisions which led to the death of 13 American soldiers. So 13 dead American soldiers equals bad, but 65 dead American soldiers equals good. You're pretty fucking retarded, huh? Let this sink in. The new ruler of Afghanistan was in prison until Trump let him out in 2018. And by the way, that guy's still in power today. I knew that commies were fucking retarded, but holy fuck, you're truly special. Trump didn't cause the 64 deaths. He didn't start the war and made no decisions that could be directly linked to them. Biden, in contrast, took decisions that directly caused those 13 deaths. They happened during his administration, so by your logic, they're his fault, right? And I thought Orange Man was supposed to be the anti-war president, so why didn't he end it then? Oh, that's right, because he was too busy releasing 5,000 terrorists from jail. Cry more, dipshit. Yes, the Trump administration did in 2020 agree to release 5,000 Taliban prisoners. My God, I can't read today. Peace talks between Afghanistan government and Taliban, which never made substantial progress, didn't begin until after the release of the prisoners. Nope, during the administration doesn't arise to moral blame. Which is literally exactly what he's accusing Biden of. Making explicit decisions that directly lead to their death, however, too. That's the difference, but as a retired commie, I would expect you to understand. Explicit decisions like releasing 5,000 terrorists, you brain-dead jackass? Nope, that was only a necessary condition, not a sufficient condition. You missed the directly part. Or maybe you cannot read? Well, I mean, he's got me there today. I really can't read. Lamau. A necessary condition, not a sufficient condition. Holy shit, you're so dumb you literally don't even know what the words you're trying to use mean. Typical maggot moron. Over yonder, that's where the books tried to get me. That's a funny-ass meme. I really like that one. Please explain then how the decision to release the Taliban was a sufficient condition for the 13 deaths. Explain how releasing the people responsible for freeing the guy that committed the bombing was a sufficient condition for the 13 deaths? You can't seriously be that fucking dumb. Oh wait, you're a maggot, of course you can. With access to analysis from across the intelligence community, we were able to identify that Abby Gate, person born ID, Jesus, I told you I couldn't read today. You got me on that one. I can't read. IED bomber as Abdul Rahman Allegory, an ISIS-K member since 2016, said one army official on the 12-person Joint Supplemental Review Team. Allegory was one of thousands of ISIS-K members the Taliban released from a pair of detention centers in mid-August 2021, according to another army team official. Great, so we have clarified that you don't know what a sufficient condition is. Thumbs up. Holy shit, you people are fucking brain dead. Trump releases Taliban. Taliban releases bomber. Bomber kills soldier. Trump never releases Taliban. Taliban never releases bomber. Bomber never kills soldiers. Get it now, retard? And then I helped him out by giving him a handy definition of what the hell he's trying to quote. He's clearly getting the two confused, but like all maggots, he can't ever admit when he's wrong, so I gave him a little definition here. A sufficient condition is a condition or set of conditions that will produce the event. A necessary condition must be there, but it alone does not provide sufficient cause for the occurrence of the event. He's literally got them mixed up, but like I said, maggots will never admit when they're wrong, so yeah. What you described is a necessary condition. You are truly a retard. Even though the fucking definition is right there. Holy shit, dude, you're embarrassingly fucking dumb. The definition is literally right there, you illiterate fuck. Yes, the definition is right there, but you clearly don't understand it. Releasing the Taliban is not sufficient to reduce the effect being the 13 dead American soldiers. For example, Biden could have redeployed troops which would have prevented the effect of it from happening. Again, you're proving yourself to be a retard. You mean like Trump could have just not released the Taliban and that released the bomber that killed the soldiers, you goddamn painfully stupid fucking brain-dead moron? Jesus Christ, how do you even feed yourself being this fucking retarded? Nope, a necessary condition and a sufficient condition are not the same thing. I know, I gave you the fucking definition already. I thought we went over this already. Is that too hard for you? Is it too hard for you? Read, you dumb fuck. Just fucking read! Or get your handler to read it for you when they're done wiping the drool off your chin, you brain-dead fuck. Holy shit. That is indeed the informal definition. And see, now this is his way of trying to skirt around it. It's like, no, now it's an informal definition. What's the formal definition, fuckface? There is no, spoiler alert, there is no formal definition for a sufficient condition. This is the fucking definition. Not a necessary condition. The release of the Taliban soldiers help to clarify things. It doesn't clarify anything, because you literally say, oh, it's the informal definition. Okay, well, what's the formal definition, fuckface? That would require him to admit that he's just pulling shit out of his ass, though. Jesus fucking Christ. This goddamn moron thinks he knows what words means better than the dictionary does. I've done it. I've finally found somebody dumber than dog shit. Literal dog feces could outsmart you, sir. Didn't think it was possible, but here we are. Best of luck. I don't think you're retarded, my guy. Oh my god, it was so infuriating. But this is how it is, talking to every single maggot that you've ever encountered. They dig their dumbass heels in whenever they are encountered with a fact, and they just will refuse, utterly refuse to ever acknowledge that they're wrong. Why? Because their dipshit orange cult leader refuses to ever acknowledge that he's ever wrong. Ugh. Anyway, what else we got in the random section? Oh yeah, so also last week, Trump held a press conference after his appeal for his sexual assault verdict was denied, and literally described the exact thing that he said on the Billy Bush tape in 2016, and said it was impossible because it just sounded so ridiculous.
That I grabbed, maybe it was quicker, that I grabbed her at a certain part, and that was when she had enough. Now, so think of the impracticality of this. I'm famous. I'm in a plane. People are coming into the plane. And I'm looking at a woman, and I grab her, and I start kissing her and making out with her. What are the chances of that happening? What are the chances?
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Maybe it was quicker, that I grabbed her at a certain part, and that was
Literally, almost word for word, exactly what he told Billy Bush. Like, I mean, this guy is fucking senile. I mean, like, why? Of all the ways you could possibly phrase it, why would you say it like that? I mean, this guy is brain dead. And then his own lawyer listening to him fucking ramble was just like, even she couldn't hide how fucking disgusted she was by him.
I know you're going to say it's a terrible thing to say, but it couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And she would not have been the chosen one. She would not have been the chosen one. She has gone around for years saying the story. Everywhere I go, she says this story. And it's a total lie. Now,
she would not have been his chosen rape victim. Yeah, that sounds like an innocent guy to me. Anyway, what else we got here? Oh yeah, Mitt Romney called out Republicans earlier today for their lies. But, I mean, he's just a rhino, don't you know? So, I mean, I'm not sure how many voters this is going to sway.
So, you know, we have, what, I think approximately 70% of Republicans still say that Donald Trump won the 2020 election. It's like, are we going to abandon truth to that degree? I mean, it's absolutely absurd. I mean, after all this time, all the courts that were, you know, solicited to look into it, there's been no evidence of widespread fraud. Actually, most of the evidence I've seen so far has been Republicans trying to corrupt the election. And yet they continue to put it out there and and promote it. It's like, how does a party survive in a setting like that?
So yeah, just basic logic, common sense, that thing that Republicans seem to be completely devoid of these days. Yeah, that's apparently a hot take in the Republican Party these days, and if you dare utter it, you're a rhino. So, I'm mighty hopeful for the future. And, oh yeah, then there was this one is, like, actually, I think from last year or something, or maybe, like, it was several months ago, but it's just too good because he's so close to getting it, and he can't get it.
I just wonder too, I mean, how come almost everybody I know of that went to college is a Biden supporter?
Yeah.
And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness, yeah.
I mean, the kid's answer kind of sucked because, I mean, like, that's exactly the kind of horseshit response that maggots will pounce on. What he should have said is that when you go to college, you're taught critical thinking skills. So rather than just taking bullshit conspiracies at face value, you're taught to think about whatever, if you take whatever course you go to take in college, you're taught to think critically about it. Not just take everything at face value and just, just kind of, it instills a basic kind of, questioning of the facts and not taking everything at face value. Critical thinking skills that Republicans these days seem to be completely devoid of. So what he should have said was like something along those lines where, if whatever your major is, you're taught to consider it critically, and you usually have to write a bunch of shit about it and analyze it and come back with points and counterpoints supporting it or not supporting it. And, when you're just going to high school and, you dropping out after that, like most maggots do, you're pretty much basically never being exposed to that. You're just doing the run-of-the-mill remembering whatever the hell the teacher said in the last class and then writing it down on a piece of paper. You're not actually learning anything. You're not actually doing any kind of critical thinking. But when you go to college and university, you're taught to think critically, which is why most college graduates and university graduates tend to be Democrats. But he's so close to getting it, he's like, oh, everyone I know that went to college is a Biden supporter. How'd that happen? Yeah, well, you're almost there, buddy. You're almost there. Anyway, let's get to some of the news of today. What's on the list here? Check your voter registration. Yep, covered that. Oh yeah, okay. So that what I thought was going to be the end of this story apparently isn't, because we now have a new update to the whole exploding pager thing that happened in Lebanon, I think it was. Whatever, Hezbollah had a bad day with some pagers yesterday that left 2,700 people, over 2,700 people, severely injured. I think 8 killed. I think that number has actually gone up since then. I'm not entirely sure what it is now. But apparently, according to Sky News Arabia, Mossad was able to inject a compound of whatever the hell that shit is, PETN, into the batteries of the new encrypted pagers that Hezbollah began using around February before they even arrived in the hands of Hezbollah members, allowing them to read the rest of the article. Allowing them to remotely overheat and detonate the lithium batteries within the device. And apparently, they decided to go ahead and do that with a bunch of other things, too, because today, I gotta switch back to the Discord here, sorry about that. They detonated a bunch of other things, and I'm hearing from anywhere from just two-way radios to some reports of cell phones. And some people are saying that solar panels or something were also blew up, but there's kind of conflicting reports about that, about whether or not the things that were exploding, be them cell phones or walkie-talkies or pagers or whatever, exploded near the solar panels, and that's what it was that was making the solar panels explode. I don't know why they would be targeting solar panels, considering those would be like outside and not near any people that you would want to target. But yeah, there's some pretty scary videos where you can hear all the explosions happening like one after another. Yeah, so, you know, that's kind of terrifying. I'm not entirely sure, you know, how many, I think there was an update recently. Actually, yeah, update. Number of deaths from today's Hezbollah-linked electronic device explosions in Lebanon rises to 14, at least 450 injured. So, I mean, it's better than the thousands from yesterday, but not by much, and, little Russian worm Edward Snowden got his ass handed to him on Twitter after chiming in, and it was pretty glorious. He said, as information comes in about the exploding beepers in Lebanon, it seems now more likely than not that to be implanted explosives, not a hack. Why? Too many consistent, very serious injuries. If it were overheated batteries exploding, you'd expect many more small fires and misfires, which, I mean, is true based on what Sky News Arabia is reporting about the PETN being injected into it. But I'm not entirely sure how accurate those claims are. But Ryan Macbeth just went in on him in the comments and said, "You are not a defense expert, not a cybersecurity expert, nor a software engineer, nor an intelligence expert. You are a SharePoint administrator whose biggest claim to fame was being tricked by your Russian handler to walk out of a building with a thumb drive. Seriously, shut up." Which that just tickled me, because, I mean, every fucking bit of that is true. But, I mean, he might be right about the PETN being injected in there, because, I mean, like I said yesterday, I've seen lithium batteries explode before, and it's not like what we're seeing on these videos. Again, I can't show the videos because, you know, I get my channel nuked, but yeah, they're pretty damn gruesome. I mean, people are literally missing limbs, people are having their faces blown off. It's pretty grisly stuff, and there's definitely no lithium battery that's gonna do that to anybody. It's gonna be like a 3rd-degree burn or something, you know, maybe like a small wound of some kind. You're not gonna have like just these massive explosions that are happening from these things that we're seeing in these videos. So I don't know. But either way, pretty scary stuff. But I mean, for all the people that were claiming that they were, you know, Israel was killing people indiscriminately and they need to focus their attacks better, I mean this is kind of doing that. So you kind of got what you asked for. I mean, it doesn't get much more focused than literally putting it in the hands of the people you're targeting and then waiting months to blow it up later. And it's I don't know what else you want. I mean, it doesn't get much more focused than that, and then like just having snipers take them out one at a time, which honestly doesn't seem quite as feasible on this scale. I mean, they took out literally thousands. I mean, only 8 of them were actually killed, but they severely wounded, like over 2,000 people. So, assuming those were all the people they were targeting, I mean, that's pretty damn efficient. So, I mean, that's the update for that today. What else we got on here? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I guess that leads us to our next explosion story from today. Apparently, there was a fake bomb threat at a Trump rally in New York. And the bullshit was amplified by none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene. They will not stop until they kill Trump. How many more times will this happen? How many more innocent people will die in their pursuit to murder President Trump like Corey Compertour? This is a widespread effort by the left, incited by Democrats and the media, and is just a reminder Benny Thompson has a bill to strip Secretary Service protection, Secretary Service? Okay, Secretary Service protection from President Trump. I think she meant Secret Service. But, yeah, the bullshit article that she's referencing was like, even the Daily Mail had to correct it. Yeah, and this is just golden over here. Cops say suspect with self-trained bomb-detecting dog sparked false reports of explosives found in car near Trump rally surrounded by huge security. So the guy, who I guarantee was a Trump supporter, had his dog that was self-trained to detect bombs, which just sounds like a whole load of bullshit. Like, how do you self-train your dog to detect bombs? I mean, doesn't that mean that you have a bunch of bomb-making material at your house? I think somebody should be looking into that guy. I'm sure they already are, but yeah. That was the source of the claims of a bomb at this Trump rally today. And, yeah, I don't know about you, but I smell bullshit. And apparently the cops did too, because they, like, almost immediately, literally within, like, I think 2 hours of this story coming out, the cops were like, yeah, this is all bullshit, and, the guy's a moron. Claims of explosives at Trump's Long Island rally unfounded, NCPD. I mean, they didn't say it in so many words, but yeah, basically called bullshit. Cops confirmed no threat to Trump's rally after explosives report. Kinda, standard dumb MAGA bullshit. They're too stupid to realize how stupid they are, so they think you can just go grab any old dog and just say, hey, doggy, hey, Fido, find the bombs. And that's how it works, So I think his dog just, like, went and sat next to a car, and then, yeah, that's all he needed to call in a bomb squad to come and check it out. But, yeah, that didn't stop Marjorie Taylor Greene from trying to find a way to blame it on Democrats. Which leads us to the next story from today, which, is another doozy. So, apparently, the lady who contributed to a lot of the chaos that's still currently going on in Springfield, Ohio, with the whole Haitians allegedly eating people's pets thing, she found her missing cat in her basement. Vance spokesperson on Tuesday provided the Wall Street Journal with a police report in which a resident had claimed her pet might have been taken by Haitian neighbors. But when a reporter went to Anna Kilgore's house Tuesday evening, she said her cat, Miss Sassy, which went missing in late August, had actually returned a few days later. How very fucking convenient. Found safe in her own basement. Kilgore, wearing a Trump shirt and hat, said she apologized to her Haitian neighbors. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex. With the help of her daughter and mobile phone translation app. So just had to insert a little bit of extra racism in there in the end because, oh yeah, God knows that none of these Haitians speak English even though they live and work in America. But, yeah, she's, looks like exactly what you would expect her to look like. And, yeah, I don't know. If you haven't been keeping up on all the chaos that's been going on in, Ohio since these assholes started this shit, it's, pretty much been universally debunked by everybody. But, that hasn't stopped, Trump supporters from still fanning the flames, and, Trump's never gonna admit that he's completely full of shit. But the actual person that first kicked it off, apparently named Erica Lee, who started it all with a fucking Facebook post where she referenced a friend of a friend's other Facebook post. She now regrets starting the whole thing, and says she doesn't even really have any substantive evidence of it. She's just heard it from a friend of a friend.
NBC News has now spoken to a woman. Her name is Erica Lee, and she's the woman behind one of those viral posts claiming that her neighbor's cat was kidnapped and saying that it may have been at the hands of Haitian neighbors. She tells us at NBC News she has now deleted the post, that it was wrong, that she misinterpreted a neighbor's story. She just texted me, quote, "I messed up royally," and she said she never meant to cause so much hate against this one group of people. So, Alex, again, the frustration here mounting, the chaos mounting, and...
How much I want to bet she's another Trump supporter, too. But, yeah, the last guy that, well, I guess not the last guy, but one of the guys that also went to, like, some city council meeting and claimed that they were eating ducks, he also admitted that, he didn't actually see anything, even though at the council meeting he said he did. So I'm not sure why he's backtracking on it, but yeah, I guess he's just admitting that he's a liar, which is more than most Republicans can say these days.
I ain't never seen no fucking cat and dog get ate in my life, and I never fucking said that. I said something about a goose, and somebody told me they see somebody grab a fucking goose up and cut his fucking head off, and that's what the fuck I said. But when you ask me, do I regret it? Hell yeah. And then we got to deal with motherfucking schools getting closed down. We got to deal with motherfucking all the government buildings getting closed down. We got to do interviews at the police station because weird shit is going on. I don't want to deal with that shit. Bro, they're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them. And I ain't never seen no fucking cat and dog get ate in my life.
Then why just say it, guy? But yeah, so... everybody is coming out and saying that it's kind of bullshit. Even though they're the ones that kicked off the bullshit, I mean, I guess the attention they got wasn't exactly what they were hoping for. So, yeah, and this viral picture of a guy carrying 2 geese was apparently just picking up some roadkill and moving it off the road, which, I mean... seems more likely than eating it, considering, I mean, like, if you look at the picture of the goose he's holding, doesn't exactly look like it's in stellar condition. Kinda seems like it was just hit by a car. But, yeah, you know, I mean, gotta love how, Republicans suddenly care about foreigners coming to their country and killing their animals, but say nothing about these Trumps. I mean, Republicans, they worship these Trumps, you know, and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure leopards aren't as plentiful as geese. Not that they're even killing the geese, so, you know, not sure what the hell even talking about, but I mean, they've literally expanded to just anything that they see a black person doing now, and New York Post, the notorious right-wing shit rag, is put out an article the other day saying that a Haitian motorist making an illegal U-turn in Springfield smashed into a mom driving with an autistic daughter, causing a car accident, to which somebody else responded with just the absolute perfect summary for everything. I mean, where is this? Not this one. Is it down here? Oh, yeah. A white lady who didn't stop at a stop sign caused a 3-car collision in my neighborhood 2 days ago. Is this what we're doing now? I mean, like, really? Like, you know how many white people cause car accidents every fucking day? You're literally gonna point to one black person, assume they're Haitian, and be like, ah, well, this vindicates our bullshit pet story somehow. And then, another guy here, the father of, Nathan Clark, the father of 11-year-old Aiden Clark, who was killed in a car accident in Springfield, Ohio, tells J.D. Vance and Donald Trump to stop using his son's name in the city of Springfield to demonize Haitian immigrants. You know, and I mean, if the guy can lose his kid and still fucking, you know, call Trump out on his bullshit,
no, Chip Roy.
You would think that maybe they would have a little bit of like humility, kind of like self-reflection, you know, any kind of like remorse about what they're doing. Nope. But anyway, let's hear what he has to say.
Politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump. They have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. This needs to stop now. They can vomit all the hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members. However, they are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio. I will listen to them one more time to hear their apologies.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be waiting a while there, guy. Unfortunately. But, yeah. So, things aren't getting any better. I believe this is now day 3 that, or maybe day 4, that the kids in Springfield can't go to school because of bomb threats. And all this, I mean, not all this, but a large percentage of this was fanned by this bullshit video of some woman named Talia Farrell who did eat a cat but isn't Haitian and isn't an immigrant. And, but yeah, she was just some crazy bitch that ate a cat. And, yeah, what didn't even happen in Springfield, but, you know, Republicans took that video and spread it all over Twitter, and, yeah, that helped fan the flames for all this chaos that's now happening in Springfield, and is only being amplified by dipshit J.D. Vance, who blatantly admits that he knows it's not true and keeps on saying it anyway.
The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana.
You just said that you're creating a story.
Public policy.
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not accurate.
Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
Yeah, sure, that's what you meant. And, you know, I mean, if you thought it was all just, Vance being the usual piece of shit that he is, nope, Trump's in on it too, because when, he was asked to denounce the bomb threats in Ohio, there's literally one at a hospital the other day, but, you know, you got a typical Trump response out of him.
Did you denounce the bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants, and that's a terrible thing that happened. Springfield was this beautiful town, and now they're going through hell.
Yeah, they're going through hell because of you and your bullshit lies, jackass. But, you know, he'll never admit it because people aren't people to him. He's literally just using this entire town as pawns in his little political game, hoping to rally his racist dumb shit supporters to cause chaos and make it just so much worse for these poor people that have already escaped from the hellish existence that was and still is going on in Haiti. And, yeah, they come here trying to fucking make a new life for themselves, trying to live in peace, and instead they gotta deal with this bullshit because Republicans can't ever stop lying about shit. So, yeah, you know, just normal stuff. Anyway, what else we got here? Oh, yeah, which, I guess leads us to our next story for the day. The, violent rhetoric from the left, you know, as claimed by Republicans. Trump's campaign sent out a long list of receipts, quote-unquote, of Democrats' rhetoric that inspired another attempt on the president's life, former president's life. And he linked to 50 fucking bullshit out of context things that definitely don't have any comparison to half of what he says on a daily basis. But Brian Tyler Cohen went on News Nation with I think it's Chris Cuomo, one of the Cuomos, and yeah, he actually had a pretty good response to Cuomo being just a dumbass and pretending like he doesn't know the difference between the rhetoric.
Brian, why paint him as a danger to democracy? What do you think is going to happen?
First of all, Chris, it is not anybody else but Donald Trump who has said that he wants to terminate the Constitution, who has alluded to this idea that he wants to be a dictator on day one. It was his own running mate, J.D. Vance, who called him America's Hitler. So this idea that it's just the Democrats that are perpetuating these ideas that Donald Trump is akin to a fascist is a complete misnomer. But look, just on the violence, I want to go through a small list here, because it is not the Democrats who told rallygoers to beat up protesters and that we would pay for their legal bills. That was Trump, who laughed at Paul Pelosi after he was bludgeoned with a hammer, who called for military tribunals for Liz Cheney, who said that the Second Amendment people should go after Hillary Clinton, who called General Mark Milley to be executed, who posted a baseball bat photo with Alvin Bragg and threatened death and destruction if he was charged, who posted images on the Truth Social showing Biden hogtied in the bed of a truck, who laughed off the kidnapping plot of Gretchen Whitmer, and finally, who incited the events of January 6th. All of that was Donald Trump. Again, the reason that Democrats don't want Trump in power is because we don't want violence. That's the whole point of the movement against him.
Yep, couldn't have said it better myself. But, you know, getting a Republican to actually acknowledge any of that would be like, you know, talking to a damn brick wall these days. But, that's just like a fraction of the shit that, I mean, Republicans are just, in general, every day endorsing political violence. I mean, they were selling Joe Biden hogtied in the back of a pickup bumper stickers, and now they're doing the exact same thing with Kamala Harris. And we got old Donnie Jr. and his Paul Pelosi Halloween costume, you know? I mean, like, where the hell was all this outrage when you know, they were doing this shit? Where was all their calls to stop the political violence rhetoric and all this shit? And, you know, then they didn't have a problem with it. But now, every time Trump gets, you know, shot at by another Republican, by the way, I mean, this last guy was a little bit more wishy-washy politically, but, I mean, still pretty damn Republican leaning. Like, I mean, the guy was all for Tulsi Gabbard. I guess we'll get into that one next. But, yeah, I mean, talking about, you know, calling people fascist and whatnot, and how we can't call Trump Hitler. Well, I mean, J.D. Vance literally called Trump Hitler. He's a never Trump guy, never liked him, terrible candidate, idiot if you vote for him. Called him America's Hitler. I mean, that's your running mate, guy. And it's not just the front runners that are doing it either. It's the Republican nominee for North Carolina, for governor. This guy who, unsurprisingly, also stole $3,000 worth of cookies from the Girl Scouts. Mark Robinson, I believe his name is. Yeah, this guy is a real piece of work. He said that, well, just let you hear from him.
Some liberal somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity.
Matter of necessity. Some people just need killing. Yep. Gotta love that, you know, violent rhetoric from the left, though. We need to stop with our horrible, violent rhetoric. How many times has a Democrat politician said that some people just need killing? We got a tally on that one? No? Oh, geez, what do you know? Didn't think so. But, I mean, just more Republican hypocrisy. You know who actually did a good job on the, I mean, you can say what you want about him. I don't personally find him funny, but Seth Meyers has a late night show where he does like a deep dive into all these, Republican debacles on a nightly basis, and he actually did a pretty good take on it, so I guess we'll take a look at that.
To call for a reduction in the ridiculous and inflammatory political rhetoric coming from too many corners of our politics. Look, we can disagree with one another, we can debate one another, but we cannot tell the American people that one candidate is a fascist, and if he's elected, it is going to be the end of American democracy.
Donald Trump's running mate is right. We should all tone down the rhetoric and follow the example of Donald Trump. You can say many things about Donald Trump, but one thing you can't say about Donald Trump is that this man, whose name, just to remind you, is Donald Trump, has been anything other than a sober, cautious statement, who has steadied the national mood with his tempered rhetoric and calm, even-handed demeanor. I don't know why you're laughing. Because again, we're talking about Donald Trump, this man, Donald Trump, who has been no less than a beacon of reason and paragon of moderation amidst a sea of division and angst.
Kamala Harris is the first major party nominee in American history who fundamentally rejects freedom and embraces Marxism, communism, and fascism. We will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country. She's a Marxist. She's a fascist. Joe is weak. He's only good at cheating on elections, but it's not him. He's surrounded by fascists. Biden and his band of Marxists, communists, fascists. Joe Biden is the puppet of left-wing extremists trying to erase our borders, eliminate our police, indoctrinate our children, vilify our heroes, take away our energy, destroy our Second Amendment, attack the right to life, and replace American freedom with left-wing fascism. Left wing, we're going left wing all the way. Fascists, they are fascists.
Stop saying their opponents will destroy democracy.
Joe Biden is not the defender of American democracy. Joe Biden is the destroyer of American democracy. A vote for Trump is a vote to save Wisconsin, and it's a vote to save your country. This country is finished if we don't win this election. And I heard somebody say it, a scholar say it 2-3 days ago, said, if we don't win, this may be the last election our country ever has. And there could be truth to it. That's where we're going. Because Joe Biden is a threat to democracy.
The point is, maybe we give Trump a second mulligan. Sure, he called Democrats fascists, and sure, he called them a threat to democracy, and sure, he incited a violent mob to ransack the Capitol and said Mike Pence should be hanged, and promised to pardon January 6th rioters, and mocked a brutal assault on Paul Pelosi, and downplayed a kidnapping plot against the governor of Michigan, and refused to tone down his rhetoric after one of his supporters sent pipe bombs to Trump critics. Wait, where was this going? Yeah, all right, anyway. Republicans have been very clear. Stop saying that if you lose an election, it'll be the end of the country as we know it.
Her mantra, her slogan is that President Trump is an existential threat to democracy.
We have to have a conversation about elections. If you lose an election, the country's not going to come to an end, okay?
That's right. If you lose, the country's not going to come to an end, which is why Democrats need to stop saying stuff like this.
If we don't win on November 5th, I think our country is going to cease to exist. It could be the last election we ever have. I actually mean that. We don't win. I think this could be the last election we ever have. That's where our country's going. If she gets 4 more years in America, our country will be obliterated. You won't have a country anymore. Our country's going bad, and it's going to be changed on November 5th. And if it's not changed, we're not going to have a country anymore. And if we don't win this election, our country is finished.
So Trump has been saying for years that Democrats are fascist threats and vermin, which, by the way, is way worse. Using vermin to describe your political opponents is insane. Democrats need to tone down the rhetoric. Will Trump stop saying vermin? He can't. He just loves saying it. So they keep using this language, keep saying Democrats will destroy the country. And side note, Democrats have already won multiple times, and none of that came true. Joe Biden didn't turn the country into a fascist dictatorship. You know how I know? I played that clip of him falling up the stairs about 1,000 times. And not only am I still a free man, he came on this show. I don't remember Stalin ever making any guest appearances on any Russian late-night comedy shows. What exactly are Republicans accusing Democrats of anyway? What specifically are Democrats saying the Republicans think is so irresponsible?
The underpinning of her campaign, I mean, she repeats it herself. Trump will be a dictator on day one.
He said that. Those are his words. She's quoting Donald Trump. Do you not understand how quoting works? Do you think your 9th grade English teacher is the one who said it was the best of times, it was the worst of times? Hey, you got a real way with words, Teach. I can't believe you drive a Sonata. So supporters of Donald Trump are mad at Democrats for quoting Donald Trump, and not for nothing, Democrats immediately condemned the thwarted plot and expressed relief and appreciation that Trump was safe. Biden even called Trump to check in on him. How does a phone call like that even start? Hey, yeah, John, it's me, it's the president. Check it is, yeah. Well, if it isn't my favorite vermin, how's the march of fascism going? Fash? I bet it's going very fashly. Trump, on the other hand, won't even condemn bomb threats against schools.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine just a moment ago announcing that the state highway patrol troopers in Ohio will now be positioned at every school building in the town of Springfield. This comes after 2 more elementary schools were evacuated just today over bomb threats. There have been 33 bomb threats since late last week. 6 schools in the area have now been targeted since Trump on the debate stage mentioned the false story about migrants eating pets in Springfield.
Do you denounce the bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants, and that's a terrible thing that happened. Springfield was this beautiful town, and now they're going through hell. It's a sad thing. Not going to happen with me, I can tell you right now.
How hard is it to denounce bomb threats against schools? So Donald Trump couldn't even bring himself to denounce bomb threats against schools. And by the way, I'm not the one saying Trump and Vance are responsible. The Republican mayor of Springfield said all the federal politicians that have negatively spun our city, they need to know they're hurting our city. And it was their words that did it. And the Republican governor of Ohio, a Trump supporter, called the claims garbage. And yet J.D. Vance doubled down anyway.
The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
So now it's okay to just create stories, J.D. Vance, you serial couch.
Yup. If you're a Republican, it's okay. They always seem to find a way to justify their bullshit. But, yeah, you know, I mean, there's also Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, like, she's said so much shit over the years, I don't even... You can't, like, picking out just one clip is kind of insane to even bother with. I mean, she's... Go take a look at any viral clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene over the last, geez, I don't even know, like, how long has she been in Congress? Like, 4 years? Didn't she get in there in, like, 2020 or something? But, yeah, I mean, there's always the, craziest addition to, what's her name? Trump's, I guess, advisory team. I don't even think she's on his campaign staff, but she's flying around with him, Looney Loomer. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing with
Trump
that one.
cleaves to the absolute worst, most dangerous people. If he becomes president again, it's going to be even worse. Laura Loomer is Exhibit A. The two seem to be rather inseparable lately, spending a lot of time together. That's her coming off his private plane. In addition to being his 9/11 guest, she accompanied Trump to Tuesday's debate in Philadelphia. She's been seen with him in his Bedminster Club, and her name has been on Trump's lips for much of this year.
A friend of all of ours, and this woman is amazing. Laura Loomer. Where is she? Where's Laura? She is amazing. A fantastic woman, a true patriot, Laura Loomer. Laura, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. It's great to have you, and you've been really very special. You work hard, and you are a very opinionated lady. I have to tell you that, and in my opinion, I like that.
Well, I
and
appreciate that.
all of your support, and you've been terrific, and everybody appreciates you. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Laura.
Thank you so much for inviting me to sit with you today. It's a pleasure. You're the best. I love you.
She first gained notoriety for chaining herself to the door of a Twitter office in New York to protest the website banning her after she spread false conspiracy theories about multiple mass shootings. For that ban, Loomer also tweeted hateful bile about immigrants, responding to a news story about thousands of migrants dying while trying to cross the Mediterranean to safety. She posted, quote, "Good, clapping emoji, here's to 2,000 more." After Elon Musk bought Twitter, Loomer was, surprise, surprise, reinstated on the platform. That's where she called 9/11 an inside job last year, arguing that Donald Rumsfeld helped stage it to take over the national security bureaucracy. Twitter is also where this past summer, Loomer called Kamala Harris a drug-using prostitute. Around that time, as Donald Trump was praising her at rallies, what a patriot, Loomer also called for the death of Trump's perceived political enemies.
I truly believe that the people who engaged in the coup against Donald Trump and have caused, civil unrest and chaos in our country for the last 7 years through Crossfire Hurricane and also through these what I believe are illegal witch hunts against the president of the United States right now, unconstitutional witch hunts against Donald Trump, they are treasonous. They are traitors. They should get the death penalty when they are jailed in the next Trump administration.
Yeah, so, just more violent rhetoric from the left. But, what you gonna do?
You see this guy? His name is Timothy Hale, and he is a convicted January 6 rioter and an alleged Nazi sympathizer. Well, Donald Trump hosted this guy at his Bedminster Golf Club not once, but twice this summer, where he was celebrated and gave speeches. At one event, Trump even sent in a video praising all the attendees as amazing patriots, and at the other, Donald Trump gave this guy an award. Donald Trump likes to threaten Jewish voters and tell them that if they don't vote for him, they have to get their heads examined. Well, I think anybody who votes for this needs to get their heads examined. How about that?
Yeah, it's not, anybody else, any other candidate that was running for president would have never even gotten past, just palling around with Nick Fuentes 4 years ago or whenever the hell he was doing it. But, this guy's got literal Hitler wannabes / lookalikes, and he's handing them awards and shit, and that's cool with Republicans. There's no issues there. Still got half the country voting for this guy. And it's not limited to Republicans either. After all, the official Libertarian Party of New Hampshire Twitter account tweeted out, anyone who murders Kamala Harris would be an American hero, which promptly got him a visit from the FBI, and it forced him to take the tweet down. I could show you that video, but it's kind of fucking infuriating because the guy's such a douchebag that he acts like he got some kind of win over them by, them refusing to show him their ID, despite the fact that he's literally saying that he's gonna post this video online immediately after they leave. So if they show him their ID, they're literally gonna be doxing themselves. So yeah, this guy's such a douche.
Can you give your full name, please? Is that sufficient to identify as the only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not gonna.
So you can show me your name ID, you can walk away.
We just want to talk.
Well, put the fucking phone down and they'd be more than happy to. That guy was literally about to show you anyway. Like, these guys are beyond respectful here, and this guy is just such a douchebag. And of course, like all douchebags, they're acting like it's a win. But, you know, whatever. God, this is infuriating. Anyway, you know, and then there was this black MAGA Republican guy, Philip Anderson, who, you know, told everybody to stock up on guns and ammunition and food and medical supplies if they were, you know, because before the sentencing for his election interference case got postponed to November 25th, they were all worried, justifiably, that he was going to go to prison, but, you know, toning down that violent rhetoric like they always do, this guy was telling people to stock up on guns and ammunition. But, you know, didn't hear any Republicans complaining then. But, yeah, and then there's a classic Trump joking about Paul Pelosi being attacked with a hammer. I mean, gotta love that lefty violent rhetoric there.
Ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, okay. Well, apparently we're having some stream issues here. It's getting error messages flashing up, and of course, as soon as I say that, they go away. Ah, Jesus. What do you guys know about streaming? Anybody know what's better, NVENC H264 or NVENC 264? All two of you that are actually watching this? God, this is so depressing. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just wrap this one up and then try some different stream settings here and come back. Oh, well. You know, I guess it is what it is. Stream number 2, going about as good as the first one. At least we didn't have any audio issues this time. I mean, I hope. So, yeah. Maybe I'll come back in a couple minutes and try and finish up the rest of these news stories I got listed here and see if I can get some smoother stream going. I don't know what the hell is up.